Hey guys, what's cracking? So today we're talking about an addition to the Insta360 camera. This is an action camera that has a 360 lens on it. Also has a normal action cam mod. It's called a modular camera because it breaks into modules. And I have for you today the 1-inch sensor wide mod. Do you want to get into it? See what it's like? I thought you did. That's why you stuck around the last 20 seconds. The lens. It's a big, bulky, beefy thing. Listen to this. And there it is. This beefy thing. Now, it's pretty simple. These mods, they're waterproof up to 5 meters. You can throw it in the water up to 5 meters. Connect it first. Don't throw it in. But this is the way it works. Connects it in like that. You have your on and off button and your shoot button, and then underneath you have the battery. Battery just clips in like that, and you have your beefy 1-inch mod. Now it's a bit bigger, but this lens shoots 14 mil equivalent. 14 mil. It's 3.5 aperture, and the sensor is 1 inch. That means that the 3.5 aperture is actually closer to a 3.5 aperture rather than the equivalent of a 11 aperture if the sensor's smaller. So the sensor determines what you get out of the aperture of the lens. And this is a 1-inch sensor. Now, this is revolutionary in action cameras because it enables you to pick up dark situations, and instead of it being all blotchy and fuzzy and messy so you can't see anything, there should be some high definition with this. And so there's a number of different projects I want to do with this right now. So it's been a couple of months since I made the first part of that video, and I've had a chance to play with this camera in all sorts of settings. I've stuck it on top of my car and I've driven through the city. I've done that in the day, I've done that in the night. Here's some of that footage now for you to enjoy. I'm actually working on a project where, no, I'm not going to tell you. No, you just have to wait and see. I've actually used this as time-lapsing. I've taken out a night into a lightning and thunderstorm. So I've done a variety of things with this camera, and I have this to conclude. As far as action cameras go, the big problem is they're rubbish in low light. This increases your ability to shoot video in low light. There's no doubt about it. It's a much better, it's a 1-inch sensor, which means there's more sensor to gather more information, can be exposed to the light more, so it takes more out of the darkness, and therefore it's great, so it's less grainy. This little time lapse, when it goes to completely dark, it really breaks down. And there's be some other things you can do on this camera. For example, you could put a long exposure on and you could do some steel wool. I haven't tried it with Astra yet because the skies have just been rubbish, but it would have a certain ability to do Astro. However, I wouldn't buy it for that. What I would buy it for is it gives you 5.6K resolution. It's really sharp. It's really amazing. It's fantastic underwater. The quality of images you can get underwater are just sublime. One of the challenges I found from it is when you want to put it in the case, you actually have to unscrew. And if you've been watching a ton of these videos, you know this already. And then you put it in the case, obviously with a smaller battery on, and then you put the lens back on. But really, it doesn't take long, and you don't even have to remember to do it because you can't put the case on, so it reminds you to do it. But the scratch opportunity of this lens freaks me out a little bit, just like the 360 mod. It's easy to scratch, easy to rub off, and I wouldn't like that. So I bought it with some aspirations that it would be like an incredible answer that hasn't been able to be discovered yet. Like it'd be able to do astro and action camming and underwater and time lapse and all those things incredibly well. And it does some of them really well and the others okay. But here's the interesting thing. I've got my phone. This is an iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now, it's my phone primarily, but it does these things exceptionally well. Plus, I can go from super wide to super zoomed without losing too much video quality. I can go 4K and 60 frames a second. So whilst I like it, and it's amazing to set up and leave to do a time lapse, or it's really cool to strap on someone as they're doing an activity like mountain bike riding or whatever they're going to do. I can use the suction mount to put it wherever. I'm not sure it was worth the investment. It's a hefty price tag though for what you get. And I hope this video has helped you see some of the limitations of it, whether you want to buy it, how it all works, whether it's for you. Not sure it's for me, but I'm going to continue experimenting. So if there's experimental ideas you have in mind that you're like, you should try this with it and see how you go, please tell me, and I will do that video for you of different ways to use this mod that may access its full creative potential. Now, as you're considering subscribing below and giving me the thumbs up, you need to know that the Insta360 camera creates INSV files. It doesn't create MOV, it doesn't create MP4. And with these files, what that means is you need to pair it with your phone, and you can edit your photos, your video and your photos on your phone from here. Or you take out the micro SD card with great difficulty because of this silly little detachment thing here that you've got to, like, I haven't even got nails. You shake it around and you get a knife in there and somehow get it out. Anyway, you get it out, you can stick that straight in your computer, or you can just plug in a USB-C cable here, straight into your computer, and away you go. There's a desktop app that enables you to do it on your computer. The app is free, this desktop software is free. It's incredible the things you can do with it, and I leave it in your hands about whether this is something you would like to purchase or not. But if you'd like to look further, I'll put a link in the description below, and I'm happy to answer any questions or go out and take any footage or challenge that you set me. One further issue with it, which really surprised me. So today I was doing some filming and I noticed that on the lens there was a ring of condensation inside when this was screwed in real tight. So basically the image that was taken had a blurry ring through it. And that hasn't happened before, but is quite disappointing. So I will keep an eye on that and let you know if it gets worse or if it's just a freak. The camera hadn't been wet and wasn't wet, so it wasn't a result of that. So something else to keep in mind when you're pondering whether you want to invest in it or not. So all of that to say, is it a good decision to buy this mod? The 1-inch censored mod. I had high hopes for it. I think my hopes exceeded what it was going to be able to deliver. It is an action camera after all, and I think it stretches the capabilities of a quality of an action camera. Like it moves it into new territory in terms of low light and long exposure and those sort of things. But it is no replacement for your DSLRs or your other equipment that you might use for specific jobs like astro or long exposure or so forth. But it does give you that option. I hope you had fun with this video. I hope it helped you make a decision that I couldn't make, so I bought it. And when I bought it, I'm like, no, I don't know if I really needed this. I don't know. I don't know if it was actually worth it. Subscribe to this video if you like the videos. Have a look through the channel. Enjoy yourself. Hopefully you'll benefit and be entertained. Give it the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.